Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode number 255 of Bill Man the Sport Guys podcast. I'm your host, Bill Man the Sports Guy. For the latest weekly news of the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, college sports, WNBA, this is the podcast to be. So, a few things to talk about, but let's go over two breaking news that did happen this past week that I didn't quite touch in the last episode, which I do apologize. So, the first off is artists. Caranosavas, I hope I said it right. I apologize if I said it wrong. The executive vice president of basketball operations and general manager Mark Eversley have been fired. They have been let go. And this is the statement from Chief Executive Officer Michael Reinsdorf, son of Jerry Reinsdorf. Artemis and Mark have led with a deep commitment to the Chicago Bulls. These decisions are never easy, especially when they involve people we respect both personally and professionally. We are grateful for their dedication and the work they've put in over the past 6 years. At the same time, we have not had the success our fans deserve. Really now? And it's my responsibility to go in a new direction. This move is about positioning our team for sustained success moving ahead. I want our fans to know that I hear you and understand your frustration. I sure do hope so. I feel as well, or I feel it as well. I know this will take time, and I am fully committed to getting this right. At the Chicago Bulls, our focus remains on building a team that can compete, actually, at the highest level and ultimately contend for championships. We are committed to taking the necessary steps to move the Bulls forward in a way that makes our fans proud. Well, Michael Reinsdorf, I sure hope you stand by those words. Because let's be honest, the Chicago Bulls are in the second longest playoff drought among Chicago teams. Can anybody guess who's at number one? If you guess the Chicago Bears, you are correct. The Chicago Bulls have not seen the NBA Finals since the Michael Jordan days. Let's be honest. I can even remember as a Bulls fan, the early 2010s, how fun those teams really were. The 2016-2017 team when we had Dwayne Wade, Rajon Rondo. I legit thought we were going to go all the way that year. How about finally 2021, 2022, where everyone thought the Bulls could finally compete for years to come with the playoff with DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Lonzo Ball, Alex Caruso, Kobe White, Nikola Vucevic, Ayo Dosunmu. I could go on. Yeah, apparently Grayson Allen decided to curse our season away, and then Lonzo Ball had an injury which hasn't caused him to play in 3 years. Yikes and ouch. That really hurt as a Bulls fan. I remember the pain I felt after the loss to the Bucks. That was that was not good. Then the past 3 years were the definition of mediocrity. Where we made the play-in, yeah, we wouldn't go anywhere far. And this season, we missed the playoffs. So good riddance because this season was so streaky. And the Chicago Bulls, I hope they can finally pick a direction. And I hope they're going to go in the right direction this time, just like the baseball team, the Chicago White Sox. They're finally going in the right direction. The Bulls, they're like 2 steps back. So, yeah, those are my overall thoughts. I sure hope Michael Reinsdorf takes the time to find the right general manager and the right basketball operations and executive vice president to actually lead the Bulls back to glory. Just like I hope the baseball team, the Chicago White Sox, can finally find glory soon. But we will in the Ishba brothers. They're going to save us. So, because let's be honest, there's so many things wrong that I could say what happened in the past 3 years, from not making a trade at the trade deadline. Remember, we went 3 straight years without making one at the trade deadline, or even the offseason. Then, drafting Patrick Williams. That did not go so well. The whole Lonzo Ball knee thing. Yikes. Kobe White injury status when we traded him to the Charlotte Hornets. Yikes. I could go on, but overall, those were my thoughts on the Chicago Bulls. The next news is actually going to come from the WNBA. The Chicago Sky, the WNBA, Women's Basketball Association, they traded Angel Reese. Now, Angel Reese is getting traded to the Atlanta Dream for two draft picks. I don't know the years of the draft picks, unless if somebody wants to comment below on Twitter at Billman Sports, Instagram at Billman Sports Guy, and here on YouTube at Billman Sports Guy. So Angel Reese this season with the Chicago Sky played 30 games, averaged just under 32 minutes, averaged almost 15 points, 14.7 that is, 12.6 rebounds, almost four assists, 1.5 steals, barely one block. Field goal percentage was 45.8%, just over 18% 3-point percentage, free throw percentage, just under 80. So definitely a growth from her rookie year. Now, I hope and I wish her nothing but the best of luck that I think she will continue to grow and hopefully become one of the greatest WNBA players to ever play. Now, yeah, I definitely think it's possible she could land in the top 20 greatest WNBA players. I don't think number one, because I think that automatically belongs to Caitlin Clark. But overall, Chicago Sky, which I will also add, did not had a good 2025 season. So if you want to know the Chicago Sky stats, they were pretty bad. They were 10 and 34 that year. Yikes. And the moves they've been making have been quite interesting to say the least. But after that, hopefully they take the right direction, but who knows? Um, for the Dream, I think they're going to be a lot more aggressive in the WNBA, especially with Angel Reese being added. Now, as the Chicago Sky might be heading towards the rebuild, but they might want to get a little bit more ball movement, which could also explain why to their 10-34 season. Yeah, we'll see how this trade works out. A little too early to tell for right now. All right. Other news in the NHL: New York Rangers goaltender Jonathan Quick, which, by the way, the Rangers did lose 3-2 to the Florida Panthers, but Jonathan Quick has announced that he will retire for the NHL, from the NHL, that is. Jonathan Quick, who played in the NHL from 2007 to 2026 with the Los Angeles Kings, Vegas Golden Knights, and the New York Rangers. Overall career stats: 829 games played, 810 wins, 410 losses, 307 overtime/shootout losses, or 90, that is. I'm sorry. He's starting 810 games played. That's my apologies. The wins are 410, 307 losses, 90 overtime shootout losses. I'm apologize about that earlier. Now, career save percentage, 910. Career goals against, 251. Now, if you even want to look at awards, Jonathan Quick won 3 Stanley Cups, 2 with the Los Angeles Kings, and won in 2023 with the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Won the William M. Jennings Trophy twice in 2014 and 2018. Plus, he made the All-Star twice, 2012, 2026. Was named the NHL second All-Star team back in 2012. And was arguably recently one of the best, definitely one of the best goaltenders in the 2010s and a bit in the 2000s. And dare I say, maybe the greatest Los Angeles Kings goaltender, because Jonathan Quick is first in team wins and also first in loss, but save percentage, funny enough, tied for 6 with current Los Angeles Kings goaltender Darcy Kemper. First goes by Martin Jones, but if we're going off of like 100+ games, Jonathan Quick should automatically be at 1. But as of right now, he's tied with Darcy Kemper. And Obviously, today the New York Rangers did lose 3-2 to the Florida Panthers. Now, do I think he's a Hall of Famer? 1000% yes. And I think he would also definitely, I think he definitely goes down as one of the top 10 greatest goaltenders to ever play in the NHL. So, congratulations on a marvelous career from Jonathan Quick. Also, another thing in the hockey universe, Patrick Kane of the Detroit Red Wings has hit 1,400 career points. Congratulations to the greatest American born player to ever play the game in the NHL. Now, another thing I do also want to talk about really quick is some Major League Baseball teams have actually, yeah, so they have released the new City Connect uniforms. So the Milwaukee Brewers have a jersey called Wiscaso, which is like the City Connect. Then the Texas Rangers, just red, but has the J instead of the X. The Cincinnati Reds went all red, but the design for the letter C is a bit interesting. Baltimore went white, green, and a little bit of orange. That just says be more in the middle with the bird on top. Kansas City Royals went pink, purple, blue, white, but with the R and the crown. So I'm just describing it because I do want to put a photo here, but I'm afraid that I might get hit with copyright and I don't want to deal with that. San Diego Padres, so the best way I can describe it is it's all blue with a different font of San Diego and the name. Pittsburgh Pirates, they went with the pirate logo for the hat, but for the jersey, they do have pirates spelled like around the chest, but it's in an interesting font to say the least. The Atlanta Braves, I mean, they went light blue with a little dark blue for the numbers, so kind of like how in the Colson Montgomery jersey, like there's a number. Um, the Braves did that, but with a darker blue. But then they went with like a lower cursive Atlanta kind of mark. So I apologize that I don't have a photo up here because, to be honest, I don't want to get hit with copyright. So I just described it the best way I could. But you're more than welcome to Google up a photo and then it'll actually appear. And I will also say, before we end today's episode, and why not? Let's actually let me just give you my quick, like, overreactive thoughts really quick on every major league team, because why not? And we're almost at about a month point to the season's end. So let's start with the National League. For the National League East, I think the Atlanta Braves still will just barely make the playoffs. The Miami Marlins are proving why they're an interesting team to watch. Philadelphia, New York Mets, are you guys okay? Doesn't look like you guys are. Hope you guys can figure it out and get it together. The Washington Nationals, they're not playing too bad right now, but still expected to be the bottom feeder of Major League Baseball. For the NL Central, how is it that the Pittsburgh Pirates are in first place? Am I dreaming? Did I just fell asleep at Disney World and just woke up to realize the Pittsburgh Pirates are above 500 and in first place? What is going on? The Cincinnati Reds are barely hanging on. Same with the Milwaukee Brewers. Cardinals are playing 500 ball. They may not be the worst team in baseball at the end of the day. Hey, Chicago, what do you got to say about your record right now? Hmm. And I thought they were going to go on a far run. Are they maybe proving that I was wrong? I don't know. National League West. Yeah, Los Angeles Dodgers. We know you guys are here. You guys won back-to-back World Series champions. You're still here. We get it. San Diego Padres. They might be doing better than I thought. Arizona Diamondbacks are doing not bad. Oh, wow. The San Francisco Giants and the Colorado Rockies have the same record? I wonder who's going to win the race of finishing last place. Maybe in all of baseball, too. Hmm. The American League. So I guess the New York Yankees are frauds. Oh, Wait a minute, they're tied for first place with the Baltimore Orioles. That's a bit odd. Are the Red Sox okay? The record doesn't quite prove otherwise. Toronto Blue Jays kind of feeling the hungover a little bit. Hello, hello, Toronto Blue Jays, wake up! It's baseball season. This isn't the hockey season. Tampa Bay Rays, well, they are what I expected. The Chicago White Sox. Say what you want about their record, but are they also maybe the definition of streaky? The Kansas City Royals are what I thought. Detroit Tigers, yikes. Better figure it out. Minnesota frauds. Yeah, they're not gonna last long in second place. I don't care what their record says. They're just not gonna do it. Cleveland Guardians, I mean, enjoy first place while it lasts before the Detroit Tigers knock you out of there. Wait a minute. Sacramento Athletics are tied for first place? So you're saying they're World Series contenders at the end of the day, right? Right? Texas Rangers, sure, you guys got good pitching, but what about the hitting? How's that going to pan out? Yeah, Los Angeles Angels will forever be the Los Angeles Angels until further notice. Seattle, hello. Hope you guys can figure it out. Would like to see you in the postseason. That would be nice. Oh, the Houston Astros are in last place. Well, last place probably won't last, but honestly, for what they did in 2017, yeah, good. Good riddance that they're in last place. This concludes today's episode of 255 of Bill Man the Sport Guys podcast. I'm your host, Bill Man the Sports Guy. Always remember for the latest weekly news of the NFL, NBA, MLB, NHL, college sports, WNBA, this is the podcast to be. I hope you all have a fantastic week. Stay tuned for episode number 256. Peace.